They're very nice, small, and slim, and they really pretty much do the job. But this one is a little bit big, so just keep that in mind. So we're going to go ahead and display for you the kickstand functionality right there and right now. You notice that on the front of the actual sleeve itself, where the TRIG logo is located, you can actually go and pop it up and out, and it does so like this. And now what this does is this actually basically is the initial stages of the kickstand mode. So I'll go and show you how that looks right now. You're basically just going to want to go ahead and bend the case inward like so, and bend this flap outward against that inner flap like this. And once everything is lined up, you just want to go ahead and line up those two buttons right here, the button and the clasp, and just basically close those into place like so. Now once you do that, the case, or the sleeve itself I should call it, is now officially in kickstand orientation. As you can see from the side right here, not too bad, not too shabby. We can tell you that the most popular case that this reminded us of was the, we believe it's the Incipio kickstand case, and this is much sturdier than the Incipio one, but then again this came out much later than that one. So we can only assume that Switcheasy took a couple of lessons learned from the Incipio cover. This is a lot more sturdy and is a little bit more to the ground. It isn't as loose. So you don't necessarily need that much of a flat level surface, although the flatter the surface, the better. Now before we show you the iPad and how it looks in kickstand orientation, of course giving you our closing thoughts and comments about it, we want to go and give you a quick tour of all the bonus accessories Switcheasy does throw inside with this sleeve. Now starting off is your standard issue screen protector. That's pretty self-explanatory. So this is a screen protector for your Apple iPad, nothing fancy right there. It's one piece and it's going to go over the front of your Apple iPad. And of course every time you have a screen protector, you always have a screen protector little kit included with you. That includes a black microfiber cleaning cloth that's going to go and clean up your surface of the Apple iPad before and after installation. And of course a little hard plastic squeegee card that's going to help you air out those bubbles during screen protector installation. Pretty self-explanatory. Other than that, that's pretty much it. TRIG also includes a very nice thick illustrated guide on how to use the kickstand assembly. So there's no real guessing or second guessing for you to how to prop up that kickstand. As you can see, it's all nice and illustrated right here. And of course you can always save these instructions for future reference. Let me go ahead and get the Apple iPad right now and show you how it looks in kickstand orientation. Now like we said before, this kickstand is a lot more sturdier than other kickstands we've seen that have been built inside the case. But that doesn't necessarily make it foolproof. I mean, it still is a tad on the wobbly side, especially if you use it on the more shallow side of the portrait mode like you see right here. So it's not necessarily the sturdiest type of kickstand right now. Your Apple iPad does feel a little bit on the suspect side. In other words, it does feel like it might just fall off, but it does do the job. If you actually use the second rung right there, it's actually a lot more sturdier. There's more weight against the case itself, and it feels a little bit more, safe. However, if you happen to use the your Apple iPad in the kickstand mode in landscape orientation, this basically solves all the problems. Now it's very, very sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. And like we said, unlike the Incipio version, this actually will go ahead and hold in place very, very well. It's actually nice and form-fitting. We actually felt that this particular kickstand was very sturdy, and we really didn't want to take away much from it. We actually really liked its overall design. So let's go ahead and put the Apple iPad back in portrait mode. Let's go ahead and undo the kickstand orientation, put this back into its normal sleeve mode, and go and slide in the Apple iPad just to quickly show you how that all works out. You're going to want to go ahead and slide in the Apple iPad. It's up to you what orientation you want to. Incipio actually does slide in the Apple iPad in this orientation, like so. So you're actually putting the face in away from the TRIG logo, at least that's how they recommend it. But of course this is a sleeve case, so you can go and insert it any way you want to. We felt it didn't really make much of a difference because both slides are pretty padded, as you can see right here. Now once the Apple iPad is installed, like we said, it's a very thick sleeve. There's a lot of girth to it. It looks like you're carrying a folder full of documents with the Apple iPad installed inside this case. So just go ahead and keep that in mind. Remember, it's a pretty thick type of cover. It really is meant to travel and travel pretty heavily, I guess you can say. And like we said, it is a pretty water resistant type of cover, so go and keep that in mind. If you're even going to go in the snow or you're going to go out on a rainy day, this is definitely one of those covers you want with you for your Apple iPad. Now, as far as protection goes, it's a really thick pad, so as you can imagine, I actually even drop it from a pretty significant height on its screen or what have you. It's always going to be nice and padded. It's pretty much bouncing off the surface right there. So as you can pretty much see from those demonstrative shots,